Hey, so I'm gonna make it make sense. Every time that you say slavery, I want you to replace that with plantation, right? I want you to replace that with agricultural section of America down south. Anytime that you say slavery, basically what you're talking about is the experience of the South with black Negro plantation uh, directors, or a fancy word for slave master. So a lot of times they're gonna blame slavery, but they're not gonna call it for what it was. This was about Negroes and a lifestyle of agricultural with plantations. They were family ran plantations. This is the uh, founding of how corporations and everything was created through the family. The mother was the secretary, the father was the CEO, the daughters and the sons were the managers and however they were relegated duties. But this is the basis for business. So once that you find out that all along they use code words like slavery, right? First of all, let's take the word slave and break it down. It is slave comes from the word Slavic or Slovenia or Slove, all signifying uh, a phenotype, a pale type. If you a Negro, you cannot be a slave. So I know that if you have been, on YouTube and everything, you would never, it won't make sense to you. The shit that I'm talking about right now, I'm telling your stupid ass, stupid black ass, that you were not Negro. Okay? Ain't no use in me romanticizing, pussyfooting. We need to break this shit up. We were not slaves. We were the ones that were facilitating this mass uh, human traffic. Basically, we not angels. We wanted to take these people and work the land because we had a big booming industry of agriculture. We were the bread basket. When I say we, I'm talking about melanated or so-called black people who got rich because America is the most beautifulest place and located in the blessed part of the hemisphere and everything. So everything grows at a rapid rate. It just they lied. So slavery is code talk for when the Negroes ran a lot of America. And so once you understand that America is a continent with many countries in it, just like Africa is a continent with many countries, then we're going to break down the myth and we're going to destroy the curtain of secrecy of these people with these uh, so-called corporations who are invaders. And a lot of these people were formerly slaves. This is family business. We're talking about, you know, uh, people who came and fled from Europe because Europe was changing the guard. They were changing trustees. And a lot of the people that came here from Europe, uh, they they had lost their power. They fell from power, and so this was an option. So they came here to America, and if you did not have money, well, you know that you had to get down. You had to lay down. It's either lay down or get down, right? If you had money, you could get down. If you didn't have money, you had to lay down. And what I'm talking about is you had to lay down that work. You had to lay down, you know, being, relegated to specific uh, agreements. and paperwork. And so a lot of times these ships were coming with people who came from Europe, and they were being docked there and being um, relegated to these plantations that was Negro ran. And so once you understand that, then it's no longer nothing spooky, right? When they be talking about that Juneteenth shit, they're just talking about uh, the so-called Union, which is the white and black coalition of mostly Europeans and some Boule. Yes. Uh, this is how you have the Buffalo Soldiers and the white people who were former slaves. Slavic people were slaves. Yeah, so they would try to cover it up and call slavery, uh, but basically what slavery was agricultural workers living in big, massive farms in farming areas, relocated to um, jobs or slavery. So when you talk about slavery, um, you know, job is slavery. This is all the basis on how America still goes today. Is that you go and you become employed. Employee is a fancy word for slave. So, over the time, people change, wording to make things a little more appealing to the subjectivity of those who have and those who have not. And so, when you understand that, it right now don't make no sense what I'm talking about. I don't care. If I reach one or two people, I win. I'm not here to cookie cut no information. Some people know because they have done the work, and so everything that I'm talking about, I can't miss them. In fact, my conversation is very simple for people who have studied. Nothing new as far as the information that I am, talking about. But what I want to talk about is how America was conquered and taken. And when they conquered it and took it from the Negro, the rich Negro, they confiscated all their lands and estates and all of their manors, or these big houses and plantations. Some of them they turned into historically black universities because they were huge establishments. And when they did that, you must understand that it wasn't done in a conventional way. You just can't come and take nothing from a nigga in America, because we will kill your ass. You know what I'm saying? We are definitely the most dangerous people on the earth, but we are the most creative, loving, and innovative, and inspiring, motivational. We are the shit. We are the gods in this world, in this realm. And so it makes sense. It makes sense. And so what happened was you had a group of dark Europeans that look like me and you, possibly our relatives, distant relatives, because my understanding that Europe is an American colony. So, something happened along the way where these people had to capitulate back to the Americas. And when they came back, they came humbly. It wasn't never no confrontational thing. You cannot confront people like us. We will kill you. So what you have to do is get our guards down. You have to, when you don't have numbers, you have to play it cool and, appropriate and be with the culture and all that. But what happens is once you get your numbers up, then you slowly, once you get in the house, once you marry onto us and, have babies with us and assimilate into our culture, as you have done, and infiltrate, then you can slowly turn that wrench and that ratchet and slowly to begin to stage the coup. You have the resources. You have to have resources to go to war. You have your shit together. You have your house. You have your uh, uh, people in place. You have businesses. This is over a period of 50 years to 100 years. And then one day you are in position to change the tide of Negro prominence. Even though you're a Negro yourself, and you changed the whole face of power because you made a few moves here, you made a few moves there, and you even killed a few people to make a statement on the political infrastructure. And this is what happened, and this is why they demonize so-called slavery, is because what they don't want you to know is that these slave masters look like me. They was Negroes, and a lot of times they didn't treat their white subjects very well. They were very cruel and mean. We are not angels. And the sooner that you get that out of your mind, the sooner you'll be wake up and not stop being so naive. If you do not study, if you don't use your brain, someone will use it for you. And that is the problem right now. There's a lot of people who are dumb, even with scholastics training and collegiate. A lot of them just become boule managers or just rotten as far as just being with regular, people. And so I say even the ignorant people or the naive people are better than the people who are in the know, whose heart isn't right. You guys are bull. You guys are garbage. So, you know, slavery in a nutshell is about rich people who are all over America and they look like me being conquested after abusing the not so rich people who came over here escaping and fleeing persecution, per se, as the story goes. So, so a lot of these historical black universities used to be plantations and estates of wealthy, rich Negro American people, so-called Indians, and not the ones that live in the teepee and the huts. I'm talking about the highly evolved, industrialized, car driving, car making. And so the people that's in power today haven't done much. They build small square buildings. We are all caught up in this square prism architectural schema of everything, where everything is dumbed down and non-innovative or controlled innovative, where they can, definitely siphon off those creative powers. But it all started from them bad mouthing and bashing so-called slavery. It was human traffic early on. We not angels, y'all. And so the chickens have come home to roost. You must pay the piper. The universal law of spirituality says you must treat people the way you want to be treated. If you bring a new life form into existence, you have to treat that life form amongst the way they're living. It doesn't matter about the skin. So we'll talk more